There are some places in Europe that are so beautiful, they almost don't seem real. Lauterbrunnen Valley in Switzerland is honestly one of them. You might have seen it in pictures, but, no photo can truly prepare you for the moment you see it with your own eyes. Arriving here feels like stepping straight into a fairy tale, or maybe even a magnificent oil painting brought to life. The air changes, becoming crisp and clean, filled with the faint scent of pine and damp earth. It's a place that promises wonder from the very first moment, and wow, it more than keeps that promise. The sheer scale of the landscape is what first strikes you. It's not just pretty, it's powerful, it's humbling. This is what it feels like to be in the heart of the Alps. As you make your way into the valley, the path guides you gently along the valley floor. To your left and right, enormous cliffs rise up towards the sky like ancient, silent giants. They are so steep and so tall that they seem to defy gravity, creating a dramatic frame for the idyllic scene below. Nestled at the base of these stone walls are charming wooden chalets, each one looking cozier than the last. Geraniums spill from their window boxes in a riot of red and pink, adding vibrant splashes of color against the dark, weathered wood. Smoke curls lazily from a few chimneys, a welcoming sign of the peaceful life that unfolds here, day in and day out. It's a first impression that stays with you forever. The feeling of walking into Lauterbrunnen for the first time is one of pure, unadulterated awe. You find yourself slowing down without even trying, your steps matching the unhurried rhythm of the valley itself. You crane your neck to see the tops of the cliffs, where snow-capped peaks of the Eiger, Mönch, and Jungfrau mountains play hide-and-seek with the clouds. The sound of cowbells clanging softly in the distance provides a gentle, melodic soundtrack to your arrival. It is a symphony of nature, a perfect harmony of sight and sound that immediately soothes the soul. This isn't just a destination, it's an experience that engages all your senses from the very beginning. This valley is often called the most beautiful in Europe, and as you stand there, taking it all in, you understand why. It's not just the dramatic scenery, but the feeling it evokes. It's a sense of peace, of wonder, and of being connected to something much larger than yourself. The village seems to exist in perfect harmony with its powerful surroundings, not trying to conquer nature, but to live alongside it respectfully. The houses are built to complement the landscape, not dominate it. This initial encounter with Lauterbrunnen isn't just about seeing a beautiful place. It's about feeling its magic begin to work on you, promising an unforgettable adventure in one of the world's most spectacular settings. Of all the incredible sights in Lauterbrunnen, one stands out immediately. It is the valley's signature landmark, its beating heart. I'm talking about Staubach Falls. It's one of the first things you see as you arrive, and it's honestly impossible to ignore. The waterfall cascades down from the cliff edge right beside the village, a majestic white ribbon against a backdrop of dark grey rock. It plunges nearly 300 meters, almost 1,000 feet, making it one of the highest free-falling waterfalls in Europe. It doesn't crash down with brute force. Instead, it seems to dance its way down, its water dissolving into a fine mist long before it reaches the bottom. The name Staubach literally means dust brook, and it's a perfectly fitting description. On a breezy day, the wind catches the falling water and sprays it outwards in a massive cloud of mist, or dust. This gentle spray drifts over the village, dusting the rooftops of the chalets and the spire of the church with moisture. It's this unique feature that gives the valley a special atmosphere. The air feels constantly refreshed, carrying the energy of the mountains down to the valley floor. The constant presence of the falls, the sight of it, the faint sound of it, becomes a comforting and ever-present part of your experience in Lauterbrunnen. It's like a guardian watching over the village. Staubach Falls is what makes Lauterbrunnen utterly unique. While many alpine villages are beautiful, none have this incredible natural spectacle right on their doorstep. The falls change throughout the day and with the seasons. In the morning sun, rainbows often form in its misty spray, creating a magical, ethereal sight. After a heavy rain, it flows with more power, a roaring testament to the forces of nature. In winter, it can freeze into a magnificent column of ice, a silent frozen giant. Its constant transformation means you never see the same waterfall twice. It's a living, breathing part of the landscape that has captivated poets and painters for centuries, including Goethe himself. The presence of Stobbach Falls defines the very character of the village. It is a constant reminder of the power and beauty of the natural world. The villagers have lived in its shadow for generations, their lives intertwined with its rhythms. It's not just a tourist attraction, it's a part of their identity. The falls dictate where the mist settles, which gardens get an extra watering, and what direction you look when you pause for a moment of reflection. Standing in the village and looking up at this incredible cascade, you feel a connection to the long history of people who have done the exact same thing, all of them humbled by its grace and grandeur. One of the greatest joys of visiting Lauterbrunnen is the immediate shift in pace. Life here moves at a different speed, a slower, more deliberate rhythm dictated by the mountains and the seasons, not by the clock. The moment you step off the train and breathe in the mountain air, you feel the stress of the modern world begin to melt away. That air is something special. It's crisp, clean, and invigorating, carrying the scent of waterfalls, wet rock, and pine forests. You feel your lungs expand with each breath, as if you're truly breathing for the first time. It is the kind of pure air that makes you want to spend every possible moment outdoors. This slower pace is reflected in the way people live and interact. There's no sense of rush on the streets. Locals stop to chat with one another, sharing news, or simply enjoying a moment of sunshine. Shopkeepers take the time to offer a friendly smile and a genuine gruezi. Hello? Everything encourages you to slow down and savor the moment. You find yourself walking instead of rushing, pausing to admire the view or listen to the distant chime of cowbells. It's a powerful reminder that life doesn't have to be a frantic race. In Lauterbrunnen, the goal is not to get to the destination quickly, but to enjoy every step of the journey. The scenery itself contributes to this sense of peace. The valley is a tapestry of vibrant life, especially in the spring and summer. The meadows that carpet the valley floor are not just green. They are dotted with a brilliant array of alpine flowers. You'll see bright yellow buttercups, deep purple gentians, and delicate white edelweiss, creating a colorful mosaic that stretches as far as the eye can see. These flowers aren't just confined to the meadows. They burst from window boxes, climb up garden fences, and find footholds in the cracks of stone walls. This explosion of color adds to the feeling that you are in a place that is truly alive and joyful. This calm, slow pace allows you to appreciate the small details that make Lauterbrunnen so special. You notice the intricate woodwork on a centuries-old chalet, the way the light catches the mist from a waterfall, or the sound of the Lucina River rushing over smooth stones. It's a place that rewards observation and mindfulness. You begin to feel more connected to your surroundings and to yourself. This peacefulness is the true luxury of the valley. It's not about five-star hotels or fancy restaurants. It's about the simple, profound pleasure of being present in a place of incredible natural beauty and allowing its tranquil spirit to restore your own. Walking down Lauterbrunnen's main street is an experience in itself. It's not a bustling commercial thoroughfare, but a charming and inviting path that perfectly captures the village's character. The street winds gently through the heart of the town, flanked by a delightful mix of traditional chalets, small guest houses, and local shops. Many of the houses are beautifully maintained, their dark wooden facades decorated with painted shutters and overflowing flower boxes. You can see the pride the residents take in their homes and their community. It feels less like a tourist town and more like a real, living village that just happens to be breathtakingly beautiful. As you meander along, your eyes are constantly drawn upwards. The street is a corridor with the best ceiling in the world. Between the gabled roofs of the chalets, you get stunning, perfectly framed views of the surrounding cliffs and snow-capped mountains. One moment you're admiring a charming little bakery, the next you're gazing up at a waterfall tumbling from a cliff thousands of feet above. This constant interplay between the cozy, man-made village and the immense, wild nature that surrounds it is what makes a stroll here so unique. Every few steps, a new vista opens up, reminding you just how special this place is. Keep an eye out for the little details that reveal the soul of the village. You'll see Swiss flags flying proudly from balconies, a sign of the strong national and local identity. Look for hand-carved signs, some pointing the way to a hiking trail, others bearing the name of a family who has lived in that house for generations. You might even spot charming animal signs on barns, like a painted cow or goat, indicating the building's original purpose. These small touches tell a story of a community that is deeply connected to its traditions, its history, and the alpine landscape it calls home. The village church, with its slender spire pointing towards the heavens, stands as a quiet landmark and a spiritual anchor for the community. The people you meet along the way are as much a part of the experience as the scenery. You'll get a friendly nod from a local farmer heading to his fields, or a warm greeting from a shop owner. There's a strong sense of community here, a feeling that everyone is in this beautiful place together. Unlike in a big city, people have time for each other. This friendliness is infectious, making you feel less like a tourist and more like a welcome guest. A walk down the main street is more than just sightseeing. It's an immersion into a way of life where community, nature, and tradition are woven together into a beautiful and harmonious tapestry. While Stolbach Falls is impressive from the village, seeing it up close is a completely different experience. A short, easy hike takes you from the edge of the village right to the base of this natural wonder. The path is well maintained, winding its way up a gentle slope. As you get closer, the faint sound you heard from the valley floor grows into a powerful roar. The air becomes cooler and damper, filled with the fresh, earthy smell of wet rock and vegetation. You can feel the energy of the waterfall long before you see it in its full glory. It's a walk filled with anticipation, a pilgrimage to the heart of the valley's most famous landmark. The final part of the trail is a true Swiss marvel of engineering. A tunnel has been carved directly into the mountain, leading to a viewing platform built right behind the waterfall itself. As you step out onto the platform, you are hit with a thrilling sensory overload. You are standing in a cave-like hollow, looking out through a curtain of falling water. The sound is immense, a deafening roar that vibrates through your entire body. A fine, cold mist billows around you, wetting your face and clothes. It's an incredibly powerful and humbling experience to stand behind such a massive volume of water as it plunges into the abyss below. From this unique vantage point, you get a whole new perspective on the valley. You look out through the shimmering, misty veil of the falls and see the village and the green meadows laid out below you like a map. The familiar chalets and the church spire look small and peaceful from this height. It's a view that Johann Wolfgang von Goethe famously enjoyed in 1779, inspiring his poem Song of the Spirits over the Waters. Standing there, you can easily understand how he was so moved. You feel like you are a part of the landscape, hidden away in a secret chamber of the mountain, looking out at the world from behind a magical screen. The walk back down is a more reflective experience. The roar of the falls subsides, replaced once again by the gentle sounds of the valley. You feel invigorated and refreshed, not just by the cool mist, but by the sheer power of what you just witnessed. This short hike is a perfect example of what makes Lauterbrunnen so special. It offers an accessible way to have an intimate and powerful encounter with nature. It's not about conquering the mountain, but about respectfully getting closer to its heart. The feeling of having stood behind that majestic curtain of water is a memory that will stay with you long after the mist on your jacket has dried. Starbach Falls may be the most famous, but it is far from alone. Lauterbrunnen is famously known as the Valley of 72 Waterfalls, and that's not an exaggeration. As you explore, you quickly realize that water is everywhere, cascading down the cliffs on all sides. Some are powerful torrents that carve deep into the rock, while others are delicate, wispy ribbons that seem to appear and disappear with the breeze. Each one has its own character and its own song. This incredible abundance of waterfalls is not just a beautiful coincidence. It's the direct result of the valley's unique geology, a story written by ice and time over thousands of years. The reason for this watery spectacle lies in the valley's shape and its glacial past. Lauterbrunnen is a classic example of a U-shaped glacial valley. Thousands of years ago, massive glaciers ground their way through this area, carving out a deep trough with a wide, flat floor and incredibly steep sides. When the glaciers retreated, they left behind this dramatic landscape. The high-altitude plateaus and smaller hanging valleys above were also shaped by smaller glaciers. Today, the snow and glacial melt from the high peaks gather on these plateaus and then have nowhere to go but straight down, plunging over the sheer cliff faces into the valley below. This geological setup creates the perfect conditions for waterfalls. The flat valley floor acts as a stage, and the towering cliffs are the backdrop for this incredible natural theatre. As you walk or cycle deeper into the valley, past the village of Lauterbrunnen itself, you encounter more and more of these cascades. One of the most impressive is Trümmelbach Falls, which is a whole different kind of beast. It's a series of 10 glacial waterfalls hidden inside a mountain, accessible by a lift. Here, up to 20,000 litres of water per second thunder through a corkscrewing gorge, a display of raw, untamed power that you can feel in your bones. Exploring the valley feels like a treasure hunt for waterfalls. You'll be walking along a peaceful path, and then you'll round a corner and be greeted by another spectacular cascade you hadn't seen before. They become your constant companions, their distant roar or gentle hiss providing the soundtrack to your alpine adventure. This constant presence of moving water gives the valley a dynamic, living quality. It's a landscape that is forever in motion, shaped by the water that flows from the eternal snows of the high Alps. The 72 waterfalls are not just a feature of Lauterbrunnen. They are its lifeblood, the very essence of its wild and magnificent soul. As your time in Lauterbrunnen comes to an end, you realize that this place has worked a kind of magic on you. It's more than just a beautiful spot you've ticked off a list. It's a feeling that seeps into your soul. The magic is in the air, which feels cleaner and more life-giving than anywhere else. It's in the constant, gentle music of the valley, the distant clang of cowbells, the rush of the river, and the ever-present sigh of waterfalls. It's a place that seems almost too perfect to be real, like a dream you're afraid you'll wake up from. But the beauty here is solid and real, carved from rock and nourished by water. The harmony between humanity and nature is perhaps the most profound lesson the valley teaches. The village doesn't fight against its dramatic setting, it embraces it. The chalets huddle at the feet of the cliffs, not as if they are cowering, but as if they are being protected. The community lives with a deep respect for the mountains that provide their water, their livelihood, and their identity. This seamless blend of a cozy, human-scale village and the overwhelming grandeur of the natural world is what makes Lauterbrunnen so inspiring. It gives you hope that it is possible for people to live in a way that honors and preserves the beauty of our planet. Leaving Lauterbrunnen is never easy. As your train pulls away, you'll find yourself looking back, trying to memorize the view of Starbuck Falls, the steepness of the cliffs, and the charming cluster of houses. You are leaving a place that has recalibrated your sense of wonder. The sights are unforgettable, from the rainbows in the waterfall mist to the vibrant colors of the alpine flowers. But it's the feeling that truly stays with you. A sense of peace, of awe, and of having been in the presence of something truly sublime. It's a feeling that will surface later in a quiet moment back in your everyday life, reminding you of the magic that exists in the world. Lauterbrunnen is not just a destination, it's an inspiration. It reminds you to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to look up. It leaves an indelible mark on your memory, a mental postcard of impossible beauty that you can revisit whenever you need to. The fresh air might fade from your lungs, but the feeling of standing in Europe's most beautiful valley, surrounded by waterfalls and giants of stone, will never leave you. It stays with you, a quiet promise that you will, one day, return to its magical embrace.